Hello, it's August 27th today. It's a Tuesday, 2019, and I just wanted to give a little preface for a video I'm putting together to post this evening, and it's going to include my Sunday meal prep for the week, a little bit of that, and then I did a little segment on my Monday morning routine, and it's an every morning routine, but I did one on yesterday morning. And then I also did a little video on an activity I did at work at my full-time job on Monday. And then lastly, I did the salad that I eat every night in my meal in the evening time. And so this is just a little preface for that, because I don't explain each video as I go. Lay out the chicken breasts. I put salt and pepper on them. Salmon, I don't put anything on that. The eggs that I'll boil, and then over here we have our onion, tomato, and cucumber for the salad. And then also you can see the different accoutrements for the salad right there too. So I preheat the oven to 350, and I'll cook the fish for about 30 minutes, and I'll cook the chicken for about 33. So I'll check back whenever it's done cooking. Well, side note, I dropped the eggs directly into an ice bath. Makes them easier to peel. Okay, so there we have it. Tomatoes here, the cucumber here, red onion, your salmon, chicken, and see I write on the tops here, I weigh them, and I put the number of grams that we have in here for each one. So that's all that stuff over there, and then we have the eggs here. So that's the prep. It took about an hour, and yep, that's what it takes. So on weekdays, I'll wake up at about 6:10, 6:20, and I'll go for a run or go to the treadmill and walk uphill at a high pace. So for about 20 minutes, or until I'm heavily sweating, or until I don't feel like doing it anymore. So I ended up, my little AirPod things were out of battery, because I didn't know they were out of battery. So since they were out of battery, I didn't want to go on the treadmill, because I feel like it would have been a little boring. So I went outside for a run. See, I'll show you outside so you can. So it's a really, really pretty morning out here, and that's where I went. You can see my finger in the video, but I went over there by the bridge and by the stadium. So it was a little 1.6 mile run at a pretty slow pace, but my goal is to just do the morning cardio until sweat is dripping off my face. I know it's kind of a dumb goal, but that's normally the goal in the morning. I don't really push myself very hard in the morning. I normally save that for the afternoon, or the weekends. I kind of save the weekend to push myself pretty far. But it was a good run. It's fun in the morning. I'm trying to take advantage right now of the weather, because in Pittsburgh, it'll probably, from what I hear and the historical data, it's going to get pretty cold here pretty soon. So I'm trying to take advantage of the little bit of warmth we have left in it. So yeah, it was a good, nice morning run. Wakes you up better than a cup of coffee. Oh, and another thing, I eliminated caffeine during the week. So I save caffeine for my morning coffees on the weekend. So no caffeine on the weekdays. And I normally don't do cardio on weekends. I normally just do weight training on the weekends. So yeah, and it's August 26th today. It's about 6:50 right now. So just finished about a 3-hour walkthrough on a construction site here. It's actually an existing facility, but we're putting together a bid for another project very similar to it. So we just had a walk around with the owner of the facility, and he explained what the job's going to entail. So that was what my afternoon consisted of, and it's actually very pretty out here in Pennsylvania, where these job sites are. So really interesting stuff, industrial. Tonight was actually a good example of a distraction that I got. I had my my fantasy my fantasy football draft tonight, so cut into my Spanish learning time a little bit and my dinner time and workout time. But that's a little bit of a sacrifice, you know, it's gonna happen. Alrighty, so I'm gonna be making my nightly salad that I make every night. So I'll explain how I do it. I'd like to credit this. My brother Matthew comes up with all these not diets, but nutrition plans, and balances everything out and measures it. So mine's an iteration. I mess with it a little bit. He says it completely defeats the purpose of all his work, but but I do mess with it a little bit. I add a couple things and subtract a few things. So we start with our 50-50 blend. That gives us some spinach here. So do everything on a scale to make sure everything's even. So we'll put about 45 grams of this mix. There we go. And then I get this sweet butter. I think he does like iceberg. So 85 grams of this. So you can reset it every time. This is just 2 servings per bag. It's a little more that time. And then after I put the lettuce in, I put olive oil, so extra virgin olive oil. So we'll go 30. I think I bumped it to 35 grams of that. So some good fat right there. Then I go with the vinegar, red wine vinegar. I normally do about 10 to 12 grams of that. Fork here. I take it off the scale to mix it because I don't want to mess up the weighing apparatus there. So I mix it a little bit here, and then I put about 1/2 gram of salt in there. I like the flavor. It adds a little bit of flavor there. Even though we're getting a lot of salt from a lot of the other ingredients in the salad. By the way, look at this bowl. It's huge. It's awesome. Oh, and another thing. I look forward to this meal. I look forward to this. It's probably what I look forward to most all day. So I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So reset that. Then we'll go with our red onions here. Put about 30 grams of those in there. I'm saying about, but I like to keep it pretty close to what our goal is. Like normally I wouldn't leave it at 35. Normally I would come back in here, and that's why I reopened this and closed it, because I didn't want to do it look like an idiot. But I normally take it out if I put too much. So put 30 grams of those. Tomatoes. I'll do about 45 grams of those. 45, 50. It's harder to regulate these because they're bigger pieces. Cucumber. I'll put about 64 grams in there. 67. Fiber and water. Alright. And then I'll get some of these salmon. So this is the salmon that I showed cooking the other day. I don't have to edit onto this video, but anyway, so put some salmon in here. I normally put about 75 grams of salmon in there. Right on the money. Yep. And then after the salmon, I'll get the tuna. So I put a little can of this albacore tuna in there. Add some protein and some flavor in my opinion. I think that tuna is good protein there. Alright. Give that a little stir. A little toss. A little toss. Next up is the cheese. For a few months I've been doing no cheese, but my brother added it to the salad recently, so he goes 30 grams here. I'm trying to add calories on mine, so I've been doing 40. I've been doing 40 grams of this Parmesan. This is where it gets everywhere when you try to stir it. It shoots the powder everywhere. Sometimes my plastic forks break when I'm trying to stir all this madness. Because I mean, this thing's huge. I mean, this is just, it's a delicacy, I'm telling you. Yep. Alright. And last but most importantly, we have our flax seeds here. Some good fiber. So I'll put 30 grams right there in the center. Because it's kind of hard to eat the flax seeds because they get kind of spread out through the salad. So I just put them in the center so I get a couple scoops, and it's mostly flax seeds, but I think they're really good. I mean, they're not delicious, but and then we go with the chia seeds. So we'll do another 30 grams of these too. Put these around the outside because I think it looks good. 30 grams of those. And you'll see I didn't use this. This is for our this is for our potassium chloride. I just mixed that with my water just to get the potassium levels good. And then the last ingredient is our boiled egg. And see, it's taken a lot of not practice, but experimentation. See, I put the egg in last here like this. And I crunch it up like this. Because if you put it in before you stir, the yolk tends to break down into like a kind of like a paste when it mixes with the rest of the salad. So I'd rather not have that. I'd rather get it in a couple bites. But so that's the salad. Delicious, absolutely delicious. That's it. It takes about 10 minutes. 15 minutes to eat, so it takes a long time to eat, but if I'm not explaining everything, I can make it pretty quick. I can get it together pretty quick.